The work of Jonathan Haidt, as you probably know about, has looked at the impact of smartphones and this fast, overstimulated environment that we're now in. And maybe that could explain the anxiety, the depression, and many of the things. I mean, he sees a sort of sharp starting point for many of the mental health disorders rising at about 2010, when the smartphone became much more in use. Where do you sit with that? I mean, you're looking at early childhood, but actually there's many other things going on that sort of muddy the waters.
There's a lot of truth in that, but he misses something. First of all, it's absolutely true, and there have been brain studies on kids, that the more screens they watch, that affects their brain development in negative ways, including empathy, emotional intelligence, and so on. So those screens and those digital devices are actually damaging the kids' brains, and Haidt is absolutely right about that. And there's all kinds of evidence for that. In fact, they're designed to be addictive, and they engage the same circuits in the brain that addiction, which is another area of interest of mine, also engage. But here's what Haidt misses, that these devices are a substitute for something. You know what they're a substitute for? Contact with healthy, nurturing adults. Kids turn to these devices to entertain themselves, to keep themselves company, to find other kids to connect with, because they've lost their attachment relationship with the nurturing adults. That, again, is a cultural issue. So, yes, the cell phone, the digital media has a terrible influence on children, but it's in a context of loosened relationship with the nurturing adults. And so there's another book of mine. I mean, I know it sounds self-serving, but I'm mentioning my own books because this is
we're millions and helping millions, so go ahead.
So the other book is called Hold On to Your Kids, Why Parents Need to Matter More Than Peers. And those children that remain in a healthy attachment relationship with their parents can influence and regulate how much screen time the kids use. So their very loss of parental influence is reflected in the overuse by children of the screens. So the fundamental issue is not the screens, although I'd keep it out of kids' hands for many, many years, but the lost or loosened or fractured relationship with the adult world.